This week on Archer's Choice.
This little girly dance.
Welcome to this week's Archer's Choice.
You beat me.
You're right. I'm quick
This
at your
week,
draw.
we're heading to South Dakota.
We're going west.
That's right. We're going to go to Western Ranch Outfitters, and we're going to go antelope hunting.
Yes.
But before you get going,
Lucky logo.
That's right. Lucky logo is True Glow.
True Glow.
So watch
when
for the
brightness
True Glow.
counts, count on True Glow.
So look for the True Glow logo, and at the end of the show, we'll tell you what to do with that.
Now, Fred Lamphere is the outfitter, and one of his guides, Rick, this is a very unique antelope hunt.
Yeah.
Yes, because it's not sitting in pet blinds or ground blinds near a water hole. It's not decoying with another antelope, buck antelope.
Right.
This is, or spotting and stalking.
Right.
This is a combination of decoying, spotting, and stalking.
They're using horses. They're walking behind the horses, which is really unique. And I know Scott, which are the guys that are out there hunting this week, when they were behind the horses, and I guess the guide kept telling them, when you draw back, make sure you don't shoot the horse, which, good thing that they didn't.
Oh yeah, I mean, safety's always first, but the crazy thing is they get so close to these, and there's nothing there.
No.
But you know what we realized is antelope can't count feet on a horse.
Can they count at anything?
I don't know. Did you ever ask them?
No.
Oh, well then.
Well, you don't want to miss this week's show. Watch.
Well, it's September 14th. Got the truck packed up, full tank of gas. Heading west to South Dakota. Chase antelope. We're gonna meet up with Scott Straniford. He left Dallas this morning around 7, so he's been on the road for about 6 hours, 7 hours. You're gonna want to stick around because we've got something really exciting for you. We're gonna change things up and chase these antelope a little bit different than what you're used to seeing. So stay tuned.
Maybe I'll have to go with the green and white. Take Ralph and Vicki with me.
So once we got our shopping done, we piled back in the truck and we drove on to Western Ranch Outfitters in far northwest South Dakota, north of Sturgis. The next morning before hunting, we grabbed the Hoyt bow and I shot a few times to make sure everything was okay. I'd hate to miss on my first antelope hunt.
We got the killing arrow that the kids and Kimberly put together the other night, so all their initials, their smiley face, all the stuff that they put together for me before we left. That would work, huh?
Yeah, let's go off to 40.
This is really unique at Western Ranch Outfitters. You get right in behind the horses and stalk in on the antelope.
All we got to do is we got to stay behind the horses.
Blockers, yeah.
Whatever happens, just don't expose your human form to the
Your outline, yeah.
Okay, ready?
Yeah, yeah.
Great.
Soon after that, we were headed out from the ranch and closing the distance on our first herd of antelope. So here we are within 100 yards of our first antelope buck, when out of nowhere, here comes the mailman flying down the gravel road. 10,000 acre ranch, not another road anywhere to be found, and here comes this mailman. Those antelope were gone.
That wasn't us.
Oh, that was the mailman.
Mailman got me. They know I used to work for UPS, that's the deal. They don't let it go. Well, it was working.
It was.
I think each time it'll get a little easier.
Oh, Scott, do we feel your pain, huh?
The dang mailman.
That mail, you know, those mailmen always screw you up, don't they? They probably knew that you worked for UPS at one time.
You think so?
I think so.
I don't know, but stay tuned because when we come back, Scott will be back up and maybe the mailman won't mess him up this
The
time.
ultimate spot and stalk horse style pronghorn hunt. Welcome back. We're horsing around in South Dakota with Scott.
Which Scott?
Scott.
There's two Scotts. Is
Scott.
that like Scott Squared?
We found a solo buck out here by himself. We got situated, we dumped out of the back of the trailer, and now we're gonna make we'll see if we can do it without the mailman helping us to spook him off this time. Come on.
After the mailman screwed me up, we got behind our horses and started creeping our way onto another herd. The whole time we were out there in South Dakota, it seemed like the wind was blowing non-stop. As we got closer to the antelope, the buck on the edge saw something that he didn't like and he just took off. As luck would have it, the buck ran off and worked his way back around and ran into the middle of the herd. There were a few does on the edge of the herd, and since I had a doe tag, I thought this is a great chance to try and get a doe.
We thought she was about 35. It was just quick, it just happened. You guys know better than I do what the line was because I lost it. I looked through like it was headed straight, high or low, left or right, but I wasn't on them.
The next day, we shot a little bit, unloaded the horses, and headed out into the prairie. We saw a nice buck grazing on the side of a hill with two does and a few fawns. So we got the horses out, worked down on the downwind side, and let the horses graze their way into the antelope.
Just underneath him. Went right under him, didn't it? I've had a great time. My shooting hasn't been quite to par, but it happened so quick. You're relying on ranges and oh well, let's go find that arrow. We got a bunch of stalks to make yet today. Another shot. Got another buck over here bedded. He's all by himself. He just got up. He's a good one.
Luckily, the buck didn't go far after I whiffed on him the first time. We let him calm down, gave him a few minutes, and we snuck back in on him again. Okay, so we've shot our delta target. Kimberly and I have kind of worn this old buck out, but Ressie and the kids like to shoot with their bow, and so what we do is make it a little more exciting and make it more interesting. We like to blow up a balloon and have it sticking out of here so they got something to shoot at. Then they get positive reinforcement when they pop the balloon right off the bat. So this is a cool way to use your deltas, especially if they've been out in the sun and they're worn out. Don't chunk that thing out, even though it may not stand up to your compound. The kids' bows, it's great for them, and it gives them something to localize and center in on, that being the vitals.
I popped it! Ollie! I shot the deer, they're both long!
After Scott watched Scott shoot all Scott's arrows, right. Scott couldn't handle that Scott missed, so Scott is up next.
Right, so don't go anywhere, because when we come back, Scott's up, and then the other Scott is again back behind the camera.
So is Scott on first base, or is he on second?
They're on both.
Who knows?
One of the advantages of being here in South Dakota is the fact that our archery tags are guaranteed for deer and for antelope. The tags are guaranteed tags, and you can get multiple tags with opportunities to be able to harvest antlerless deer and doe antelope. I think a lot of people overlook South Dakota as a destination for mule deer and antelope. They talk about driving through South Dakota and going to Montana or Wyoming and Colorado, but we need to slow up and look around South Dakota. There's a lot of trophy animals in South Dakota and a lot of good hunting opportunities. So that's what we're doing, with kind of trying to go towards the archery market a little bit more, just for the fact that there's guaranteed tags and people really need to realize the opportunities here.
We've spotted our best buck of the trip so far. He's bedded down now. I don't know, distances are hard to tell, this long open range, but I'm guessing he's about 3/4 mile. So we're gonna try and make something happen here. Once we knew that the antelope had seen us, the stalk was on, we'd try and close the distance as fast as we could. I'm staying behind the horses. If the antelope would move, we would move with them, kind of tacking like a sailboat, staying behind the horses. When the buck would go back to grazing, that's when we would start closing the distance. If he would get alarmed a little bit, maybe look our direction, we would just stop, let the horses graze, and it was amazing. Usually within just a few seconds, that would calm that buck down and he'd go back to feeding. We'd start closing the distance again. As I watched that arrow sail over that antelope's back, I thought, oh my God, Miss Itis is contagious. And then next thing you know, strike two. We reloaded, the antelope ran off to the east a little bit. The pursuit was on again, and in no time at all, we had him at about 54 yards.
Good shot.
The horse had raised its head at the worst possible time, blocked the impact. You can get to see where the arrow hit the antelope. As it walked off, we did see a little blemish high on the shoulder, and with that, and the fact that it was threatening rain, and Rick said we didn't want to get caught out there in the rain because we'd never get out, it'd be too slippery. We decided to head back to the ranch and pick up the trail tomorrow.
Well, we got a little concerned this antelope. He didn't want to tip over for us. He kept going, so we decided to back out. We reviewed the footage. Little problem though, I mean, the arrow was flying true, and just before impact, the horse raised its head and blocked the impact. So not knowing where we hit it, plus the fact that he's covered some ground, we're just going to back out. It's not a bad thing anyway because we've got some heavy rain moving in. It's drizzling now and these roads are greasy and we don't want to be stuck way back in here. So we're going to get back to the ranch house and make a plan, either try and get back out here later on horseback or on four-wheelers, or hopefully don't get a big rain and it'll be dry enough we can come out in the morning and look for them. Nice antelope. See what happens.
Well, after Scott realized that Scott shot all his arrows and Scott wanted to get in front of the camera, Scott did have a couple misses too, so Scott sent some arrows too. But then that moment of truth,
the horse, what the heck was that?
The horse
lifts his head.
Of course,
They
will
couldn't
block the shot, of course.
Oh my gosh. But they were able to go ahead and glass it because obviously they couldn't see it on film.
He hit him a little high and
They
forward.
hit a little high, and when in doubt, they got out. Yep.
So one of the Scotts could prevail.
Which Scott?
Stupid horse. Well, Scott did the right thing.
They did. They
When in
backed
doubt,
out.
they got out.
Got up on a ridge, glassed, while the other guys were out there. They were kind of looking around and checking it out, and guess what?
Well, you'll see.
Well, we've about given up hope now. We've been glassing from these high spots, and you'd think you would be able to see anything around us, but there's a lot of depressions and dips. Rick's telling us that we're just not going to see from this point, so he's just going to tool around for a little bit on his quad, and hopefully he can find our antelope.
I found him. He's laying in a drop back there.
Still alive?
No.
No.
He's down. Yeah. Yeah, that was a good feeling. Wow.
Whew. I thought the bad streak was going to continue.
It didn't. We got him. You got him to death.
We got him.
Yeah.
This is our goat.
Yeah. Good job.
Oh, here he is. Come on around behind.
He's a good one. He's a good one, Scott. Congratulations.
Oh, I am so happy. You know, I've had a pretty good track record when it comes to not losing animals, and this one was killing me. You know, I'm not proud of the shot. You know, we're high and forward.
But it did the trick.
And we put the time in, and we look for them.
That's what it takes.
And I can't thank you enough for this opportunity. This has been the coolest experience ever. I mean, to be able to, I've hunted antelope with the rifle, and they would see it 300 yards away and run off. And to be able to get within, well, some of those, what, 20, 30 yards, 30 yards? And walk with them, with these horses. This is the coolest spot and stalk antelope hunt. With the horses, oh, great trip, made some great friends. I'm never gonna forget you, old blue eyes. I'm not.
Congratulations, Scotty.
Hey guys, congratulations. You know, Scott, both Scotts, we feel sorry for you, but missing is part of the game.
It is, and we could have really been bad and tormented a lot to the Scotts on the missing.
But how many of you had the same, you know, when all of a sudden something at the beginning of a hunt goes wrong, you know, you're shooting or
it's
something,
almost like buck
your
fever,
confidence level goes down.
And the thing is too, is that you're not sitting in a ground blind or sitting in a tree stand.
No.
You're stalking up behind a horse, getting to an antelope. You know, they walk the horse away, they tell you, you know, what the yardage is, and you can't see the antelope until that horse moves, and I mean, that could
your heart's
frazzle
coming
you.
out of your chest, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey,
But Fred, thank you so much. What an incredible pronghorn hunt.
that was really
Prairie
cool.
goats to the extreme.
They got to within 20 yards of them with them horses. That's insane. Hey, if you happen to see the lucky logo.
True Glow.
Really?
Right in the sky.
Okay. Go on to archerschoice.com, click on the lucky logo button, fill out some information, and someone's going to win a lot of really cool things from True Glow plus another manufacturer.
Next week, we're heading to New Mexico. Top-notch outfitters,
Ooh.
elk hunting, bugling bulls. It's just unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Incredible.
Nice, nice. So we want to thank you for watching this week's Archer's Choice. We'll see you next week, same time.
Same channel.
Right here
on the Archer's Choice.